Hello, friends, and welcome back to our kooky kitchen. We are doing a more mixes for Mix It Up March, or whatever it was we were going to call it. March, the month of mixes, I don't know. But we're going to start off with the recipes to start with and the breakdowns. So, the first thing I want to make sure when I make a mix that it's good. If I'm going to buy it in the store, I'm probably going to be eating it, right? If I make it at home, am I reaching for it still? If I'm not going to, then I shouldn't be making it. There is no reason to do that. So one of the things is in the summer, we actually do a lot of barbecue. So that's one of the mixes I'm going to do today is barbecue. But I wanted it kind of spicy. And I wanted it to be able to be a powder for like a rub, or that I could add a few pantry ingredients to and make it a sauce. So I think that's what I've done. And sorry, my allergies are crazy, and all I do is keep sniffling. It has been a horrible few weeks. Anyway, I'll try to remember not to do that. Okay, so it is spicy barbecue rub, and then you can turn it into a barbecue sauce. Let's see. The cheapest store-bought I could find was 15 cents per tablespoon, and mine is 14 cents per tablespoon. Not much difference there, except mine is going to have nutritional yeast. And if you saw my last video on mixes, what do we do? Beef bouillon and ranch, I believe. Excuse me. The wind here's been crazy. Is it windy where you're at? Ooh. Okay, back to the recipe. So, anyway, quick price breakdown. The nutritional yeast that we're using is only 2 tablespoons, and that's 62 cents. You want to lower your price per tablespoon? Leave it out. Why do I want it in there? I want more vitamin B's, I want more protein, and I want less of the stuff on the back of the ingredient list of a barbecue sauce that I can't pronounce. That's why I'm doing this. All right, so I've got all my ingredients here. As you can see, I'm out of onion powder, so I'm going to make powder out of my dehydrated ones really quick. And I'm going to get my powdered stuff into a jar so it's easier to deal with. And I'm going to start measuring it out. We got brown sugar, salt, garlic powder, mustard powder that I ground up from seeds too, actually. Okay, so I think that's it. That's where we're going to get started. And that's I think on my other one I forgot to add the recipes in there, so I'm going to show you again just so you can pause it and write this down if you want. Alright, so let me get to prepping my onions. I'll move these to jars once I use them. Yeah, so I guess it's just the onions I have to prep for. Okay, let me get started. Our beautiful layered barbecue sauce rub. So I'm going to put the lid on it. I'm going to shake it all up. And we're actually going to make hamburgers with it tomorrow. I do like to set the mixes aside just for 24 hours. Every time I walk by, I kind of shake them up, and just to make sure they're good and mixed when I go to use them. So again, my cost for doing mine this way was 15 cents per tablespoon. The cheapest one I could find at the store was 14 cents. I am using nutritional yeast and only things I can pronounce. Okay, guess what's up next? I think we're going to do Pasta Ronis. Oh, and you know what? I better look ahead. I think I need to dehydrate some broccoli and corn for our cream of soups. All right, well, let me get to shaking this and let's get out some more ingredients. Okay, I've got our pasta in the jars. It's 2 cups of pasta. Here we have small shells. Here we got elbows. This is mostly elbows with some of the shells because I didn't have enough. I had a little bit left from one and not enough from the other, so I just combined them. All right, we're going to make garlic butter pasta, creamy Alfredo style, creamy mushroom, Southwest taco, and cheddar style. And there's actually no cheese in the cheddar. Sorry, I don't mean to sniff. If my head would clear up, it would be great. Okay, so the first one calls for nutritional yeast, garlic powder, parsley, and salt. And all of these, I don't know if I told you, the lowest one for me, I think, was $1.73, with the highest being $3.03. But again, I'm using nutritional yeast. Take out the cost of that nutritional yeast for each one of these, and that price is going to way lower. And I believe Walmart had Pasta Roni mixes on sale for $1.58. So, that being said, and they're not always $1.58. However, the only one I could find in the flavors I'm doing was the creamy Alfredo. I don't even know if they have the other flavorings. So maybe when we go to cook this at the end, we'll compare it with the store-bought and see what we like better. All right, let me gather up my dry ingredients and get them all put in the jars. All right, we've got all of our noodles that we purchased in the jar, and we're actually short one Pasta Roni mix. So I'll have to see if I have some small shells on hand somewhere. And our nutritional yeast that we got specifically for this project is almost gone. I think there's more in there than a couple tablespoons, but if I need more, I already had some on hand. I just kind of wanted to see what it was like getting all this in bulk and how much, if it made any difference in how much I saved. All right, moving on to our next ingredient. All right, our garlic butter pasta is done. I've got it on there. It doesn't really look like anything but pasta. And then you find all the powder on one side. So again, before we use it, we're going to shake it up and hopefully it'll get all mixed up and be yummy, yummy to our tummy when we go to eat it. All right, next up, we're going to do our creamy Alfredo. So we got the pasta and the nutritional yeast in there. Let's move you to the back. Next is powdered milk, cornstarch, garlic powder, salt, pepper. And the store I bought the bulk seasonings at did have bulk Parmesan powder. I didn't get it. I thought I had been looking at something else. When I saw it, I thought, oh no, it wasn't for this round of mixes. And it was. So I think when we use it, we'll just, like we do when we do the box, we'll just take out our own, shred some fresh right on top. Let me get Alfredo mixed up. Whew, our mixes are done. Creamy Alfredo, garlic butter, garlic herb, Southwest cheddar, and then our barbecue sauce rub, which we can make into a sauce. So tomorrow we'll be making burgers with that, and I'll do the creamy Alfredo one, so I'll do the Pasta Roni box I have as well, because I know I have one of those on hand, and we'll compare them and see what they taste like. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. It's time to get started. I am going to do 4 patties out of this pound of hamburger. 2, I'm just going to do rub, and then I'm going to make barbecue sauce for the other 2 patties, and I'm just going to bake them off in the oven. So I'm going to preheat my oven to probably about 425. So let me get out my pans. I'm going to put them on, get my patties made, and start this process. Okay, I'm not sure they're even or perfectly round, but they're homemade hamburgers. Okay, so for 2 of them, I'm going to do the 2 in the back. I'm going to brush them with a little bit of olive oil, sprinkle some rub on, turn them over, do the same thing. The front 2, I'm not doing anything to until it's time to get the barbecue sauce on them. And while these are cooking, I'll be making that barbecue sauce. This is what side 1 looks like. I just used my fingers and sprinkled it. And as it started to kind of soak into the oil, added a little bit more. Some of that's going to fall off by the time I turn it over probably. But I want it to really adhere to that hamburger patty, I believe is why I'm doing it this way. Now we're making our barbecue sauce. It is on the stove simmering. And I'm going to move on to making some creamy pasta Alfredo. Okay, our barbecue sauce is done. So Kyle just spread it on our 2 front burgers. I put in 2 tablespoons of butter in the pan. And as that melted, I put this on top. I am now going to add 1 3/4 cups milk and 1/4 cup of water. I already broke into our rub burgers. So Kyle's going to taste it now. Our mess from everything we cooked.
Good flavor.
All right, next up is our barbecue sauce patties. Okay, that's your fork. Mine's over here. Here's our barbecue sauce ones. You can see I dropped it.
That's tasty as well.
So we don't use rubs very often, but this barbecue rub actually has a really good flavor. And to turn it into barbecue sauce was not that hard. I had the recipe, but even if you did rub on the whole thing and then did some barbecue sauce on the side to dip it in, it is delicious. So I think I might have messed up our creamy Alfredo pasta. So give me a minute and let me see if I ruined it. And we might have to start over in another video. So let me go check it out. We'll see what we can do. All right, as we get ready to taste test our creamy Alfredo pasta, I have to tell you I made a mistake. When I was mixing the mix, I grabbed the cornstarch in place of the milk and the milk or the powdered milk in place of the cornstarch. I'm not sure this is going to taste good. I'm going to let Kyle try it first.
It has a flavor, but it's not strong.
Okay. So we at this point would top it with a little bit of shredded Parmesan. We don't have any shredded up, but let me give it a taste. And maybe the flavor would be a little bit different if I would have done it right.
It's like the cheese is kind of missing, but there's a hint of it.
So I think the nutritional yeast is supposed to kind of take that flavor for us.
Oh.
So maybe a little bit more nutritional yeast and do the cornstarch and the powdered milk, right? Okay, so those are two of the mixes that I've been working on. Like I said, up next is cream soups and I think Rice-A-Roni mixes. So we're going to go ahead and munch on our dinner. Yes, that's what we have for dinner whenever I'm experimenting with food. That's what we get to eat that night. Hopefully it turns out good so we don't have to go get food. Anyway, I hope I've inspired you maybe to look at some recipes to make your own dry mixes so you know exactly what's in your food, what you're feeding your family. Hopefully I'm giving you an idea on how to get some of the ingredients a little bit cheaper so it costs you a little bit less. And thanks for hanging out here at the Kooky Kitchen with me and Kyle. We really appreciate it. Before you go, if you could subscribe to see the next mix video we're doing, soups and Rice-A-Roni. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, comment in the comment box below. Couldn't even think of what it was called. It's a comment box. And we will see you next time here at the Kooky Kitchen. Bye for now.